So hello and welcome to the 4-year anniversary 24-hour stream. I wanted to do a pre-recorded video today. I had an idea of how I wanted this to go, and I even wrote a script for it. It's right in front of me on screen now because there's so much I want to kind of go through. So how this is going to go now is I'm going to quickly go over like a little history lesson of GCROCK, the channel. We're 4 years old. That is why we're doing this 24-hour stream, and we're doing raids the whole stream. It's going to be sick. But yeah, a few words to say. We're about to introduce some of the biggest changes that this community's ever saw. And it's from what we've learned in the last 4 years. And I think recently I kind of had like an epiphany. I think it's a word. It was a few months ago. And I just knew changes needs to be made. And I started brainstorming. And this is kind of where it came from. We spoke to people, obviously got feedback from the community. But at the end of the day, I drive it, and there's certain things I want to do in, and we're going to announce everything in this little intro to the stream. So I've no idea how long this clip's going to be now. It's quite a lot of text. I'm actually, funny enough, what I end on, I'm having right now a little bit of self-doubt. But fuck it, we're going to go for it. And if it's shit, it's shit. The stream should be good, though. And the announcements are definitely good. I'm very excited by all these announcements. We've already revealed a few of them. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to shut up and we're going to roll this. How this video is going to go is I'm just going to talk about things in the last 4 years, how we got to here. And there's going to be like some background video showing you just some clips from the last 4 years. There'll be a little bit of the image on screen somewhere. I don't know where. And it'll tell you what that clip was, from when it was. And I might even try and add some little bit of music in the background as well. We'll see. If it never made the cut, it's because I can't find any. And it's 2 AM right now, so it's going to take me a few hours. But yeah, thank you. It's the first thing I want to say. Enjoy this video. After this video, we're pretty much going to go live. So yeah, here we go. GCROCK was a name that I created in 2006 from a PS3 profile. It stood for Good Charlotte Rock, and it's a band that taught me to ignore haters, chase goals, and don't give a fuck what other people thought of it. 11 years later, I started a YouTube channel called GCROCK, and from that day, I dreamt big, and I never let anyone get in my way. I wanted to build a gaming community that was inclusive and free of toxicity, and I wanted people to feel safe within that space. The dream happened, and we have built this huge community that does exactly what I hoped for. It wasn't easy, and it still isn't to this day, but we continue to grow, and we keep the community in our thoughts with every decision that we make. GCROCK is now so much more than just a PS3 account name, and it is recognized as being one of the best gaming communities that many people have come across. My mission is to continue building on this and reach even more people. I feel gaming communities and the internet in general can be a very tough place for people, so I want to show that it doesn't have to be that way, and any community can be a home that is free of toxicity and a release that many people need, and all it takes is vision and people to get behind it. Gaming communities can rock. This month, all of this turns 4 years old, and the last 4 years have been far from easy. I don't speak about this a lot because I'm here to entertain, and my story ain't that entertaining, to be fair. But at the start of this 4-year anniversary 24-hour stream, I just wanted to go over that story so far and let those that don't know how all this started and how we got here. I feel this story explains best why we are what we are and why many of you get behind it and support it. So it was late October 2017, shortly after my daughter's first birthday, and life was quite rough at the time. Earlier in that year, my ex broke up with me for the first time. I'm not going to go into that, but we worked through it, and it left me living away from my daughter. So I went through a stage of depression that had never been that severe, if I'm being honest, and I advised work at the time and my mental state and whatnot, and I couldn't get no time off because I was working in a forensic care sort of like it wasn't even a forensic care facility, it was like supported living, but it was very much forensic, and it was very challenging individuals I was working with, and I'd go upwards of like 90 hours per week while sleeping at the job as well. And then one day I got suspended for snapping at a client. Luckily, because I am so open about mental health, as you all know, and I told them how bad things was months before that, I was absolutely fine, and I was given 3 months off paid to take the time that I needed. And in all honesty, this was probably one of the worst things that could happen, because now I was dwelling on everything. So this is when I started playing games again. I just had a few years off gaming, hadn't gamed properly for years, but I was playing The Division It was something that I started playing recently at the time, but just a little bit of it. I'm with a lot of spare time now because my ex was living at home with her parents, and it wasn't like I could just move in there. I started hammering the Division with all that spare time that I had, and I met some great friends. Two of these people were Paul264 and the God Returns, who you still see around today. God Returns being Dave, and you still see him around today. And the Division reminded me of how gaming can be such a good release from the pressures of life. So I started getting more involved and meeting more people, and also remembered how toxic people can be in gaming too. But still, I had a great bunch of people to play with daily, and on November the 21st, 2017, I created a YouTube channel to start uploading clips. YouTube was something that I did in the past, but I used to like buy views and all sorts. It was stupid. I got a good following, but people were only there for the wrong reasons. So then when I started back up, I said that this time I was going to learn from these mistakes, and I only wanted to grow from my content alone. I gave myself a goal of hitting 1,000 subs in 1 year, and I knew that I was going to be going back into work in the January, so it wasn't going to be a free ride, and the 2 to 3 months that I had to get it going was very beneficial. And then 1 year later, I actually reached 2,000 subscribers and already had a partnered channel as well. My relationship was much better at that point, and life was on the up again, and it felt good. I set another target to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of year 3, and what I said to myself was if I did that, I would start to take things very serious. And the end of year 3 came by, and we had 20,000 subscribers. Now, channels don't grow by themselves, and I'm not going to go into what I put into this channel and community, but there were spells where I went like 6 months or more with an average of 4 hours sleep per night, and I'm not even exaggerating on that. I was never stopping either. I'd be working hard full time, I had a family, and I had YouTube in this community. I often say, thinking back to that now, if I ever had to do all that again, I wouldn't. I definitely shaved some years off my life in that period. What I also did in that period was I made a lot of sacrifices, and the biggest sacrifice cost me my partner. So on Father's Day in 2020 during COVID, I was told we were done. I was quite depressed at the time again. I was going through a bit of a rough patch mentally, but I was too busy to notice, and this sent me spiraling after this. I thought the spell a few years prior was bad, but this was on another level altogether. I've never felt suicidal, but this time I truly got it, and one of the reasons why I feel I have never felt that way is because I have always had people to support me by just being there for me, to talk to, and I never had issues talking to people either. I've always been able to talk. So whether it was my mate Dan or my sister or gaming friends, these people helped me all of my life. So we get past this and we have a little break, and although all this was going very well, it was also going terribly wrong. So I couldn't carry on like this because everything I was losing wasn't worth it. So what I did, I googled and I researched, and I found Pipeline, which is a streamer service set up by Stone Mountain and Snoopy, and I went through their playbook, and what I learned from that playbook I put into practice, and 12 months later we are now here. One of the things that I learned was that I wasn't defined by the Division. This wasn't Pipeline that taught me this, but the 1 year that we've just had of no Division content, and the fact that you have all supported me to stay at this full time through that period, and with my best financial year to date, speaks volumes. Then what Pipeline taught me was that I had to take care of myself before anything else. If I didn't do this, at some point down the line it was all going to fail. It taught me other stuff too, but this was my biggest take from it. I also learned that through what I have been through, I have built a community that has been a release for many other people, and it is a community that builds lasting friendships. It gives people that person to talk to, and the non-toxic environment enables so many more people to get involved. Even people that end up hating on us for whatever reason leave with lasting friendships that they build in our community, and our community is the thing that we need to drive. On this day right now, I have never felt any better. The last 4 years of my life have been my biggest learning curve, and all of you have been there to guide and support me through it. So I do thank you for that. And next week I start joint custody with my daughter, and we've been speaking about that in the last few months, and all of my plans are in place to have a schedule that suits us. I head into 2022 with a ton of content to come from the Division and a new vision. That is to just do me. If people like me, they'll stay on board, and if you don't like me, then you don't have to stay on board. But it's no different to what it was when I tried to do what I thought I had to do, even if I didn't enjoy it. So now I sleep an average of 8 hours per night, I exercise every single day, and I have downtime every single day. My mind has never been clearer, and it brings us to some big announcements on the future of this channel and the community. So first, my YouTube channels. Now, GCROCK is still going to be pretty much what it is now. I am a Division agent at heart, and this franchise will be around this channel until the franchise dies off. And considering Ubisoft have said that the Division is one of its pillar games, it sounds like that we may have it for a very long time. We have the Division 2 content update next year, a book, the Division Heartland, and even a mobile game. And I'm going to be covering every bit of it, and that's not even mentioning the movie and the fact that the Division 3 is pretty much a certainty. What is changing is my schedule and how I go about bringing new games to the channel. So on weeks where I have my daughter, we're still going to be doing daily videos, and we'll try and do 3-hour streams in the evenings when she goes to bed. But on the week where I don't have her, we're going to still have the daily content, but much longer streams. And I'm going to stream all sorts and make content for all sorts as well. I don't care about views so much. I just want to experiment on the games that I want to play. And that is how the channel will move forward. Right now, I am playing Battlefield, and I do want to find that second game for the channel that I really want to get stuck into. But I'm not going to judge games based on what I think are going to work for the audience no more. And what I'm going to do is just play games that work for me. And as for the second wave channel, I am starting to make a lot of extra effort, and we're going to be seeing a big push on that in 2022 while I work with the stream team to bring video on demand content and much more. We have slowly started this process off already, but once things have all been signed off and updated with the other changes, I'm going to have much more time to focus on this. So what are the other changes? We're going to start with what has already been announced. I couldn't help it. I had to announce a few things the last few days. And for those that missed it, we're going to start with that. You can see here from the 24 hours of Raid stream. It's going live in 20 hours. You can see here that there's a little bit of difference already. And you can see that new little custom emoji. The reason why we've got that is because we've had a complete supporter overall. There's actually 3 people waiting in here right now. Which is insane. So yeah, we've had a complete supporter overall, and it starts with streams, and we're going to move over to the supporter server, which I've been working on all day today. So streams. Now, if we go down to the comments, we're going to bring this up because going forward, we're going to be having a little bit of fun with super chats. Now, super chats are stuff that you guys do all the time. We get them quite regular, and at the minute you just do a super chat and I read it out. So what I'm introducing is super chat modifiers, and I think this is going to be a great way for you to get more engaged with the stream and change the stream up a little bit as well, you know, because sometimes we're doing the same thing all the time or whatever. But with super chat modifiers, with your super chats, you're going to be able to change it up. So for $1, I'm still going to read your super chat out and thank you, as I always do, as long as it is stream worthy. I'm not going to go all through these, but if you have a look at the $10 super chat, you're going to have the ability to request me to remove my glasses for 1 hour. You can remove my hat for 1 hour. You can make me put a weapon down for an hour, or choose what I use for 1 hour. That is game specific. And then if we go further, if we go to the $30 one, I really like this one. You can force me to attempt bears or gingerbread men, and if I fail, you get to choose what food I must try. Evidence will be tweeted. We're always talking about food. I'm always telling you how disgusting things are that you say you eat. This is Division 2 specific, but I thought it'd be really fun because you know how bad I am at getting bears and gingerbread men. So you can see where that's going. This is an evolving system. We will learn from this. We'll see what you like doing. This will evolve over time. I just wanted to do something with super chats, and when we did modifier streams a few months ago, you really enjoyed it. Now, if you are a supporter as well, that you get a free super chat every single month. And we're going to go and have a look at it in a minute. And with that super chat, you're going to be able to use these modifiers as well. Instead of it being value, it's going to go by how long you've been a member. So I'm hoping that adds a lot more fun to the streams. This is probably one of the smallest announcements today as well. We've got so many more to tell you now. But one more thing before we go to the supporter server. If we just have a quick look at the custom emojis, this is what they look like. Now, we can only have 14 right now, because of how many members we've got. We've got 106 or 108 now. I think we've had 2 new members in the last few hours. So we've got 108 members, but when we get 12 more, we're going to be able to add another emoji, and I've got 12 backed up. So as we get more members, we're going to get some more custom emojis added. And I've already had a complaint that some of the old ones are gone, so we might bring some of them back as well. But we've spent some money earlier, and I created my little avatar here with the white hat, and he's bald and everything. He's got glasses, and it's just a little bit more customization and just a bit of fun for the people watching. So this is what the new personal server is going to look like. We call it a supporter server a lot of the time because it's where we basically sort out all your perks and everything. We're actually calling it member now rather than supporter too. We've changed that wording. I just prefer member because you all support, whether you like the stream, you watch the stream, you share it, you support financially. Every bit of support's vital. So we're calling you members now, and we've got an admin section there that's bringing in some perks. We're going to have this new GCROCK section where we've got a welcome message, announcements, roles of the community we're introducing. We're going to talk about our community category soon, or channel soon. Place for you to set up. We've got some trophies that are coming to the community. One trophy that I'm going to tell you, this hasn't been finalized yet, but in the personal server, there's like a little competition where people try and get in the streams first. So we're going to have like we've got custom icons we can add to roles now, and they appear next to your name. And we're going to have like a trophy system in both servers where you can earn trophies. We'll do some competitive ones and events sometimes. But in the supporter server, if you can get first to comment on my streams after they go live, so once I turn the chat to everybody 10 times, there'll be like a little custom role that I'll give you in the server. We'll have like a little first next to it, and then you've got like I've been in G's streams first comment 10 times trophy, you know, just a little bit of fun, more engagement. All this is about more engagement. We've got chat channels, and what I've done is with the chat channels on this server is there's been chats declined in the main server in the past, like a food channel, a pets channel and stuff like that, and I quite like tattoos and seeing images of tattoos. So the channels that have got rejected in the main server we're bringing into the personal server, and we've got all those chat channels now. There's a submit channel to submit content to me, and then there's the members category with all of your perks. So just going back to what we're talking about, the super chats and how they're going to work, I've posted in here how you get your free super chat every single month. You get one per month, and then there's all the perks here which are exactly the same. Not all the perks, sorry, all the modifiers here that are exactly the same as the other ones. There is some additions though, and instead of price, it's how long you've been a member. So you can see that they're on the length that you've been a member now rather than how much you super chat. You get them a little bit quicker. They drop down a tier, if that makes sense, but it adds one at the end here for members that have been over 2 years, and these are member only modifiers. You're going to be able to do things like pick a game for me to stream, and I'll have to stream that game. I'll arrange to stream that game for at least 2 hours, and you can jump in it with me if you want. So if you want to bring the days of Fortnite back and play Fortnite with me, and you've been a member for 2 years, you can make that happen. And that is a member only perk there. You can't do that with any other super chat or whatnot. We've give you free perks there. It's just member only. There's more perks. It's all managed through here. We've got a notification squad now. This is basically what it's been like anywhere I notify you of all my content, but I've divided it now. So if there are pings that you want to mute, you can. If there's stuff that you don't want to mute, you can kind of like modify the @everyone's that I throw out. We've got the social squad. You can find out more about that when the server goes live. We've got all my best content linked there, that what I've done. I'm hoping to advance on this now in the next year, and that's it. That is the new personal server that is going to go live quite soon after this 24-hour stream. There are a lot more perks I could go through now, but I want to try and shorten this video a little bit for you and get on to the other announcements. If you want to see what other perks you've got there, like the quarterly Q&A and stuff, just click on join on the channel homepage, or click the link that's pinned in the stream chat, and you can have a look through every perk that's in there, but it's all going to be managed through this server. So next, this is probably my favorite announcement to make. We are rebranding the community team, TCT. We've had some conversations recently. We're doing a lot of work on it at the minute. And it's, you can see here, you can see on the left side, the community team's down there, which community team has access to. That's going to be going, and it's going to be the new base of operations. It's going to be the Shade team. We're rebranding it to that. Instead of TCT member or JTF member, that's getting scrapped, and you're going to be Shade member. You'll be like Shade agents. And there'll be like different roles, so you can have like you'll be a Shade agent if you currently help with raids. You'll be a Shade operator if you currently like manage raids and set them up and whatnot. There's Shade mentors, which we'll talk about in a second, and the Shade admin. Now they've got a whole new structure there, whole new team roles. We're currently feeding back. It's going to be a little bit before all this can go live for the team, but with the new Shade team and a new base of operations being all themed around the Division, which is what we play mainly in this community. We're introducing the Shade Academy, and this is one of the things. Well, it is the reason why I've not been able to stream the last week. I've been making a lot of videos. Thank you again for everybody that helped with that. We've got a Shade Academy now where we're going to be building teams. This new recruit channel here takes you through the whole process when you join us. I have made videos for every single role that we're going to ask you to learn for your test on Dark Hours and Iron Horse. I show you the builds, I talk you all through them, and you see mentor guidelines there that I'm not going to go into, but we're going to have multiple mentors. I've already got loads signed up across all the 3 platforms, and when this goes live, look out in the community because we're going to be posting and tagging you to see who wants to be in a raid team. Now, I touched on this a couple of weeks ago and people got excited by it, and this is what I've been working on. Like, there's so much text. Dragonov actually made some documents to like make it better because lots of walls of text in Discord is dreadful. So he created documents for me as well. There's a lot to take in for the team, but there's a lot that goes into building teams, which is probably why we've never done it sooner. But it is something I want to start doing in this community. I have now set it up. So much work went into this in the last week, and we cannot wait to get people in the Shade Academy. That is what we're calling it. We'll be putting teams together on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and this is going to be starting very soon. I'd like to think this month, but as I said in the video a couple of weeks ago, if it's not this month, it is going to be December. You will be seeing new Shade teams appear towards the end of this year now, and we're going to be creating as many teams as we can in 2022 to help the community with raids just in time for all this new content and everybody coming back to the game. I'm very excited by this, as you can probably tell. I can't wait to see where this goes. I thank everybody that's getting involved in it and feeding back, and the people that are signing up to be a mentor. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Just keep an eye out in the community when our teams or when our mentors ask for people to take part. And that leaves us kind of onto our last announcement. It's another exciting one. And you might be asking, I know I would be, but Destiny is a part of this community and is also a part of the TCT team. Why are we theming it around a division when Destiny is a part of this community? Well, Destiny is no longer going to be a part of this community. We have created a Destiny 2 community. So we are splitting our games up. Huge shout out to everybody involved in this. I don't want to miss names off, but there's one person I am going to name, and that's Paul. He took the time and set up all these for us. We've got a Destiny community and we've got a New World community. So what we're going to start doing now is these communities are kind of like all part of one community, but what we've realized was you can't, like, if we go to the GCROCK gaming community, it is mainly the Division. We mainly do that, and it overshadows any other game in here. So as well as Destiny is doing, Destiny needs its own space. And New World, as well as New World started, it needs its own space. This community was so big, there's so much going on, and it's something that's fed back all the time. And we didn't want to get rid of anything Division related. So it just made sense that if we truly want to push other games and try and make a great environment for you, which we do anyway, but if you want like the best environment for like a Destiny community, the only way you're going to get that is by having a Destiny community. So there's still some work to be done. What's going to happen is we're going to announce and at everybody to move you over to the new servers as soon as we've kind of like finished all the little bits of feedback and whatnot. I think we're close. We're then going to ask for your feedback to help shape it. And then these communities are going to be shaped by you going forward. Now, we're not making them to be the biggest communities on the planet. Our aim out of these communities is just for the people in there to get the same experience that we've been delivering, have a safe place. It's going to follow our values and our current rules. And we just want people to just have a good time. If it only ever has, I don't know, 1,000 people in there, 100 people in there, as long as it serves a purpose, we're keeping these communities open, and we'll use the main community to push those communities still, and vice versa. New World is something very, very new. If things don't work out as well, we're not scared to like pull back on it and remove them at the same time, you know, but we'll give them every chance that they've got. And what this enables us to do in the future is, as we get new games that we might be interested in, we don't need to like affect this division server with it. We've got like an other games category now, and we've kind of switched that around. And if anything was to really take off, it's a case of, okay, well, we're not going to implement it here. We'll make it a server, get the systems in place, and see how they do. So that's a pretty big step. What we're trying to do there, it's a huge step. And we're gonna need your help. You know, this is your community. We always push it forward. We're working hard to deliver all of the time. And for these new communities now, get behind us, get in there, support your teams like you always do, and they will flourish. We'll learn as we go. We've learned so much from this community, and I can't wait to see how it goes. The team's very excited about it. Everything gets split up. Destiny's going to have its own TCT team, or whatever they call it over there, over in this division server now, which will just be a division server. We can fully focus on just the division, which I think will work out better in the long run. And I'm so excited, really, really excited. So this is the end of the announcement now. I've been talking for so long. I said at the start of the video, I don't know if this would be shit or not, but it's done. We're done. As I said earlier, this has been one insane journey so far, and it's been one that has changed me as a person, and over time it's improved me. I just want to thank you all for supporting this. Without you all, it doesn't grow, and we don't have any of this, so thank you. These first 4 years will be the toughest years of whatever process this is, and with everything we have learned and the people we have in place, it's quite hard to imagine where we're going to be in the next 4 years, okay? But what I do know is that this community will always be at the heart of it. Now, one last thing before we do finally finish. One of the most important things I've learned more recently is to ignore self-doubt and that voice in your head that says no. It was here before I started recording this video today, and it stops you from doing things. And I hope anyone that supports this can see that anything is possible, and if we all tell that voice to fuck off, nothing stops us, you know. I hope you've enjoyed this GCROCK history lesson today, and I hope you're as excited as we are for the changes, because we are very excited. We are telling that voice to fuck off. We're not doubting ourselves here, and we believe we can create some big things out of these announcements. So I hope you're with us. Thank you all again for being here today. Thank you all for supporting the stream. This is going to be a video upload as well after the 24-hour stream is done for those that miss it because of Thanksgiving. And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone that celebrates it. Now it's time to raid for 24 hours. So let's go.